Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to go over how to set up IntelliJ IDE. IntelliJ is one of the tools that you will be using every single day in 61B. Essentially, compared to a text editor, IntelliJ is an development environment where it has a lot of tools for you to help debug your code, develop your code, and do all sorts of stuff. Okay, so essentially from now on, all the assignments that you'll be doing in 61B, you will develop it using IntelliJ IDE. Okay, so first let's dive into how to download it and install it. In this class, we're going to use the community version of the IntelliJ software. Although we qualify to use Ultimate, but I think community version suffice for this class. Just a note for the Mac users, please select the correct version depending on whether you have an Intel or M1 chip. Okay, so for me, I will select the Apple Silicon one, and then I will download the IntelliJ IDE. Okay, so now that we have it downloaded, let's follow the instruction in order to install the IntelliJ IDE. Cool. Now we drag into the applications. Now, if you open up your application folder on Mac, you'll see that IntelliJ IDE has been installed. Okay. Awesome. So now let's try to open it up to set up our IntelliJ. You can essentially follow the default instruction in order to install it. Awesome. So if your IntelliJ is installed correctly, you'll be able to see this window popping up after you open IntelliJ. Next, we need to install some plugins that we'll need to use in 61B. The first plugin we need to install is the Python Community Edition. So in order to install it, we go to the Plugins tab, and then we click on Marketplace, and it's called Python Community Edition. So we copy and paste in the search bar. So it's the first one that pops up that has 2.9 million downloads. So we installed this. Cool. So it's installed. Next, we need to repeat the step in order to install the Java Visualizer. So let's copy Java Visualizer and then paste it into the search bar. So it is the first one developed by our OTA. So we installed this and accept. Cool. So lastly, last but not least, the plugin we need to install is called CS61B. So type in CS61B. Note that there's a space in between the S and the 6. Okay, so we installed this. Awesome. So now it's installed. Just to be safe, we should try to quit out of IntelliJ and then open it again in order to make sure it's installed properly and refresh it. Awesome. So now we have installed our IntelliJ. Let's try to import the coding assignment. This is essentially a process you will go through for every single assignment later on. Before filming this video, I have already fetched my code. If you have not already, please open up your terminal and cd into your repo and execute these 3 commands line by line in order to get the lab2 skeleton code. So for me, ILS, I already have the lab2 code here, so I'm not going to demo the process, but essentially you execute these 3 git commands to fetch and pull your code, pull the skeleton code. Okay, so first we need to open up IntelliJ and click open instead of new project because we already have the skeleton code created. We just use open to open up our files. and we click open in order to import our lab2 file. So let's do that. So we click open, then we go to repo and lab2. Okay, so note that we don't click specifically into the Java file. We want to import at the level of your lab2 directory. So you should click lab2 and then click open. Okay, and you trust project. Awesome. So now it's trying to index into the files and indexing into the libraries and stuff. Okay. So if you open up projects, there's a tab on the left side of the screen, IntelliJ. If you open it up, it should look something like this with a lab2 folder shown here and external libraries shown later on. If you expand the drop down, these are the files and folders you should see. You should be able to see IntelliJ and IntelliJ test and an IML file and partner.txt. Okay, cool. So now we have already opened up our lab2. We want to do some setup in order to import the libraries that these files might refer to. Note that for every single assignment from now on, you will have to do this step of file, project structure, and import the libraries. Okay, so let's try to do that. So we should go to file, go to project structure, and then click on libraries. So because I've already done this before, I already have imported, but I'm just going to demo it again. So you should click the plus sign and then the Java. And you should go to your home directory. I have it as one of my favorites, so it's easier to navigate to it. It should, if you're on a Mac, it should be indicated by this home sign. Okay, so you go to your home directory and the CS61B software folder. You click on lib, and you see all these jar files. So essentially, these jar files are the libraries we need to import. In order to select multiple files at the same time, you click on command, and then you select them all, okay? Then you click open, and you see the pop-up choose modules. You just click OK. Because I have it imported once, I have imported twice already. That's fine. But for you guys, it should show GJDB just once on this menu. Okay, and then we'll click OK. So that's how we import libraries. So next, after importing the libraries, we need to set up the SDKs so that we can execute the Java code we wrote on IntelliJ. Okay, so in order to set up SDKs, we need to go to File, New Project Setup, and Structure. Okay, so go to File, New Project Setup, and Structure. So it's here. And we see that in the SDK here is still shown as no SDK. That's not good. We need to select it to make it point to Java 17 because that's the version of Java we're going to use. Okay, so you should go to Java 17. For some students, if you don't really see the Java 17 as an option, but you installed Java 17 on your local computer from Lab 1, you might need to click Add SDK and navigate to the places you've installed Java, wherever it's stored on your computer, in order to add it in. Okay, if you are confused on how to do that, please make sure you reach out to a TA. Okay, so we choose 17, and then we click OK. Okay, so after setting that up, if we go to SDKs, you should see 17 being imported there. Okay, so let's go to File, New Project Setup, Structure, and that's the SDKs. You should see 17 pop up here. Okay, that means that you've imported correctly. So next, we need to add the Python SDKs. So we click Add a plus sign and then go Add Python SDK and select the version of Python we have installed. So in order to know where to find this Python interpreter, we can open up a terminal. If you're on Mac, open up your terminal, type which Python to see where the Python 3 is installed on your computer. On Windows, you just type which Python. Okay, so first let's open up the terminal. Terminal is here. type which Python 3. So my Python 3 is installed here. Okay, so I just copy this path and I click the plus sign, add Python SDK, click on system interpreter, click on the 3 dot, and then I paste in the path that I got as the output of which Python 3 here, and I click OK, and then I should see Python 3.9, which is what I installed from lab 1 being imported here, and I click apply. Okay. So now after setting up IntelliJ, you should see your files has a blue icon and you can run it later on. Okay, if you see something like this, similar to what I see on my screen, that means that you have your IntelliJ set up correctly. Cool, so that's it for IntelliJ setup. All the steps I went through, you should become more familiar with it as you do more coding assignment, as you will need to do them for every single assignment. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching.